Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. So, my dear students, today I will continue with the rest of the topic of route of drug administration. That is part two of the topic of route of drug administration. So, I have already told you the learning objectives and learning outcomes of the lecture. So, today we will continue with the intravascular routes. Intravascular routes, which is further divided into intravenous injections and intra-arterial injections. Now, what is intravenous route, or we can also call it IV route? The drug is injected into the vein as a bolus or infused slowly over hours in one of the superficial veins of the patient. Drugs really given by intravenous route or IV routes are the antimicrobial drugs, or we can call it antibiotics, analgesics, which are the pain reliever, antiemetics drugs, and certain anesthetic agents. So these are the examples of the drugs which are given by IV route or intravenous route. Intravenous route it is the most common parenteral route. So these are the advantages of intravenous route. It is the most common parenteral route, and I have already told that parenteral route avoid the first pass metabolism. That is, first pass metabolism does not occur in parenteral route. So avoids first pass metabolism. It permits a rapid effect. Large volume of fluid can be administered in case of intravenous fluid. Like if the patient has diarrhea, he's admitted in emergency. Large volume of fluid can be administered to replace the fluid loss. So it is highly valuable in case of emergency situation. It is also ideal for high molecular weight proteins and peptide drugs. This route is suitable for complex mixtures, and this route is also suitable for irritating solution. So these are the advantages of intravenous route, and exams um, you people will be asked for advantages of specific route as well as disadvantages of specific routes. So these points should be memorized. Now, what are the disadvantages of intravenous routes? Disadvantages of routes is that expert person is needed. That is, the trained staff is needed for intravenous route. Contamination at the site of injection may occur. So, strict aseptic techniques should be required for this route. Adverse reaction means that sometimes allergic reactions may occur through IV route. So before giving IV injection, staff always give the test dose, and people will see if you will go to the ward in third year. That staff always give the test dose of the antibiotics like penicillin. Some patients are allergic to penicillin, so before giving penicillin antibiotic, staff always given the test dose, and then she will inject the penicillin antibiotic. So adverse allergic reaction can occur in intravenous route, and this is allergic reaction. This is common. So test dose should always be given in case of certain antibiotics. And rate of infusion in IV route must be carefully monitored by the doctors. And its most important adverse fact is that sometimes thrombophlebitis of vein occur and necrosis of adjoining tissues occur if extravasation of drug occurs. Contamination at the site of injection may also occur. So these are certain disadvantages of intravenous drug route. Next, intra-arterial injection. Occasionally, a drug is injected directly into an artery to localize its effects in a particular tissue or organ. Limitations of intra-arterial injection is that it requires great care. It is reserved for experts. Only uh, do the expertise can go for intra-arterial injection. Drugs given in this case examples include certain anti-cancer drugs, and certain drugs are also used as diagnostic agents. They certain only certain or specific diagnostic agents can be given through intraarterial injection. Next, intramuscular injection drug is injected into the skeletal muscle. Drugs in aqueous solution are absorbed quite rapidly after intramuscular injection. If the drugs are prepared in aqueous solution, they are rapidly absorbed in intramuscular injection. So, intramuscular injection, the drug is injected into the muscle. Muscles most commonly used for intramuscular injections are deltoid, triceps, gluteus maximus. Examples of drugs which are given by intramuscular injections of analgesics or certain depot preparation of drugs. Drugs given by intramuscular injection can be in the form of aqueous solution or depot preparation, often a suspension of a drug in a non-aqueous vehicle. Absorption of drugs in an aqueous solution is fast, whereas that from depot preparation is slow. Now the advantages of intramuscular route advantages is that absorption is rapid as compared to oral route, and that route is suitable for irritating substances. And another advantage is also that first pass metabolism does not occur in intramuscular route. Now, the certain disadvantages is that it can cause local pain and inflammation, and it can be painful for the patient. There may be injury to the nerves, so staff should always be careful to avoid injury to the nerves while giving intramuscular injection. And aseptic conditions are also needed for doing intravascular injection. Now, that is subcutaneous injection. The drug is deposited in the loose subcutaneous tissue. This route of administration, like that of intramuscular injection, requires absorption, but that absorption is somewhat slower than the IV route. Subcutaneous injection, it minimizes the risk associated with intravascular injection, like allergic reaction. Allergic reactions which can occur with intravascular injections, they are minimized with the subcutaneous injection. Allergic adverse reaction does not occur in case of subcutaneous injection. Self-administration is possible, and suitable subcutaneous injection, it is suitable for slow release drugs. And other disadvantages is that a first pass metabolism does not occur in subcutaneous injection. Now, the disadvantages is that pain may occur at the injection site. Although it is rare disadvantages, then this route is unsuitable for drugs administered in large volume. That route is only suitable for drugs administered in small volumes, and drug absorption through subcutaneous route is slow. This is also the disadvantage of that route. Examples include insulin injection, which is mostly injected patient inject the insulin subcutaneously. Now that route is the intradermal route, in which the drug is injected into the skin, raising a black or scarring multiple puncture of the epidermis through a drop of the drug is done, and the drug is injected into the dermis. This route is employed for specific purposes only. Intradermal injection examples include BCG vaccine is given through intradermal route. Next, pulmonary route or inhalation route. Okay, students, parental route is completed, and the most important parental route in intravenous route is important, as well as intramuscular route and subcutaneous route is important. Both in the exams, both advantages and disadvantages of intravenous route, intramuscular route, and subcutaneous route may be asked. So, well prepared for these three routes of parental routes, that is intravenous route, intramuscular route, and subcutaneous route. Next is pulmonary route, inhalation route. Drugs can be given through this route for local effect like in asthma. Drugs which are given for local effect they include terbutaline, cromolyn sodium, metaproterenol, albuterol, and terbutaline. Inhalation route provides the rapid delivery of a drug across a large surface area of the mucous membranes of the respiratory tract, producing the rapid effect. A patient take the drug through inhalation, and it provides a rapid delivery of a drug to the large surface area of the respiratory tract, produce the rapid effect. This route is used for the drug that are gases or those that can be dispersed in an aerosol. Systemic effects in the inhalation routes are minimized because the delivery of the drug is directly across the respiratory tract, and it is effective for patients with respiratory problems like in asthma. This route is used. Inhaler is used. Localized effect to the drug to the target lung. Lower so in this case the effect of the drug is localized to the target lung, so lower doses should be used compared to that with oral or parenteral administration. Now the disadvantages of that route, it is the most addictive loop, and local irritation may cause increased respiratory secretions, and patients of lung disease do not inhale adequately. So this also come under disadvantages as certain patients of lung disease that do not inhale adequately. And examples of this route, that certain anesthetic agents they are in patients, certain anesthetic agents are used through this route that come under inhaled anesthetic agents. And inhaled anesthetic agents you people we will discuss in detail inshallah in anesthetic drugs. Next, the drugs which are used for topical applications. So these are divided further into groups depending upon their administration. Either they are applied on the skin for their local effect. Only local effect when they are applied on the skin. Only local effect is come under topical application, or the drugs are applied to the mucous membranes. These drugs do not undergo hepatic first pass metabolism when applied to the mucous membrane or the skin. Drugs applied to the mucous membrane, they are primarily for local effects, that is rapid absorption, like conjunctiva. Drugs are applied to the conjunctiva, nasopharynx, and oropharynx. Eye application, drugs applied to the eye for the local effect. If a drug remains on the surface of the eye, it prolongs the time of absorption of the drug. Drugs used in case of eye application, drugs are in the form of gels, ointments, solid inserts, and soft contact lenses. Next, eye application advantages include ocular inserts provide continuous delivery of low amount of drug, very little is lost through drainage, hence systemic side effects are minimized. Now, disadvantage is that systemic absorption from drainage through nasolacrimal canal is usually undesirable, but it may occur sometimes. As absorption is bypassing the hepatic first pass metabolism, unwanted systemic effects may be produced. Although rarely, but it occur rarely, but it may occur. Unwanted side effects like beta agonists, like the use of certain beta agonist eye drops. Unwanted systemic side effects may occur, although it occur rarely. Next, laser application, it utilized only for local effect. It has better safety and patient acceptance. Drugs applied in this case like certain nasal decongestants, xylometazoline. Hopefully, maybe you people have heard the name xylometazoline. These are the nasal decongestants. जब कभी आपको फ्लू हुआ आपने ये nasal drops यूज़ किए हों. Next, the drugs which are applied on the skin. The drugs which are applied on the skin, it will be further divided into two groups. The drugs which are applied topically or for local effect, which come under the heading of topically used drug, like rubbing of oil for the relief of pain, like application of Brufen cream for the control of pain, or some kind of ointments for skin conditions. And next category, transdermal, drugs which are applied on the skin, transdermal, which are in the form of patches, a transdermal patch, and it is effect is systemic. Absorption through the skin occur for systemic action. Now, the drugs which are applied on the skin topically for local effect, few drugs readily penetrate the intact skin. Absorption depends upon the surface where the drug is applied. Epidermis behaves like a lipid barrier, and dermis is freely permeable to many solutes. So, absorption is rapid through the abraded skin, burnt, or denuded skin. Inflammation or other conditions increase the blood flow, and it also increases the absorption of drug. Next, transdermal route. These are the devices in the form of adhesive patches of various shapes and sizes which deliver contained drug at a constant rate into the systemic circulation by the stratum corneum. The drug is delivered at the skin surface by Dupuytren for percutaneous absorption into the circulation. Drug is delivered at a constant and predictable rate, irrespective of site of application. Sites at which transdermal route are applied, patches are applied on chest, abdomen, upper arm, lower back, buttock, or in the mastoid region. They are utilized. Now, this is the assignment for today's lecture. Write any two advantages and disadvantages of IV route. Write any two disadvantages of transdermal route and then write any two advantages of subcutaneous route. This is a transdermal route. The drugs mostly given glycerol trinitrate, phentermine, nicotine, estradiol, scopolamine for motion sickness patch placed behind the ear. Now, the advantages of transdermal route adds that it achieves systemic effects by application of drugs to the skin. The rate of absorption can vary, slow, and sustained. It is used for sustained delivery of the drug. It bypasses the first pass effect. It is painless. It is ideal for the drugs that are quickly eliminated from the body. सिंपल लैंग्वेज में एक पैच लगा देते हैं जिससे ड्रग की स्लो बट कॉन्टिन्यूस ऑब्जॉर्प्शन होती रहती है ठीक है स्किन के थ्रू ड्रग अब्जॉर्ब हो जाती है to the systemic circulation, but slow absorption. The rate of absorption is slow and sustained. It is used for sustained delivery of the drug. Now, certain disadvantages of the transdermal route. Some patients may be allergic to the patches. It may cause delayed delivery of the drug to the pharmacological site of action. And it is limited to the drugs that can be taken in small doses. So that's all. Today's lecture is completed. So please students do the assignment and time and submit the assignment at time.